Hello and welcome to the Constitution Study. My name is Paul Engel, and as I always say, we are here to return the Constitution to its rightful owners, we the people. Glad you could join me today. I have an interesting topic to cover today, but before we get there, I want to thank you. If you are new to the Constitution Study, thank you for joining. Hopefully you will thank whoever pointed you this way, or if you just found it, I hope you will enjoy the time that you spend here today listening to what I am describing here. We read and study the Constitution, and we try to evaluate what we see going on from that constitutional mindset. You can learn more about the Constitution Study at the website constitutionstudy.com. Go over there. You can find podcast episodes, blog posts. Most importantly, you can comment and you can ask questions. I'm always invited. I'm always asking for more questions. If you are returning, if you are a member of the team already, if you already read and study and you listen to the Constitution Study, well, thank you. I'm glad you could be here. I want to encourage you, go to the website. There's lots of good information there. If you are not already, please join my mailing list. You will find it on the Constitution Study website. You will get a free copy of my latest essay, Reading the Declaration, where we go into not only the history of the Declaration, but reading it. What does it actually mean? And what does it tell us about what our founding fathers wanted when they created this new, originally 13 nations? Also on the website, you can, as I said, you can ask questions. You can support me on Patreon. I am trying to do more and more with the Constitution Study. To me, this is a team and this is a passion that I am really trying to invest more time in. And I pay for the website and the podcast and all of that. But I'm really passionate, and I'm looking for others that are passionate as well so I can do more. I want to do some more speaking engagements. I want to get some more writing done. Certainly more blogging and podcasting would be great. So if you head over to the website, you can find the Constitution Patreon page, Constitution Study Patreon page. If you support me, that would be great. You can also follow me on Facebook. I have a channel on YouTube right now that is simply the video versions of the podcast. Hopefully I'll be doing true video in the relatively near future. You can also, again, follow me on Facebook. I'm even posting up to LinkedIn. So I'm trying to get information out and about. So what is a topic I have to today? Well, it's a question that I haven't so much been asked, but I really do wish people would ask more often. And that is, what is the purpose of government? Why do we have governments? And why? What's their purpose? Why bother? I mean, we all know they're there, but why? See, if the Constitution created the federal government, and by the way, it did, you can certainly read my article if you read the article on the blog, on the website, you'll see a link to my article on which came first, the Constitution or the federal government. But if the Constitution created the federal government, then it's reasonable to ask, what is the purpose of the government that was created in the first place? See, now, ask yourself, what do you think the purpose of government is? Look at what a lot of people are asking the government to do, and what do you see? They want government to protect them from criminals, to protect them from terrorists, even to protect them from the consequences of their own decisions. But is that the true purpose of government? In fact, is it even possible for government to protect us from anything? In the Declaration, we see the phrase that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. See, when our forefathers declared their independence from Britain, they also said that governments are instituted to protect the rights of their citizens. When you read the Declaration of Independence, you see 27 specific grievances related to the king's violation of the colonists' rights as British citizens. These grievances are evidence of the British Crown's violation of their rights, and by extension, the primary purpose of government. So what about those who want government to protect them? I suppose it's natural for someone to want to be taken care of, to hand over their freedom in exchange for a little security. I also suppose there are many who would be quite happy to dictate how others live, with the promise of a good and peaceful life. In fact, I bet there's more than a few based on what I've seen. But what did our founding fathers think? Back in 1755, Benjamin Franklin wrote a letter from the Pennsylvania legislature to the Pennsylvania governor, and in that letter he said, quote, "We have taken every step in our power consistent with the just rights of the freemen of Pennsylvania for their relief, and we have reason to believe that in the midst of their distress, they themselves do not wish us to go farther. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." Now, I'm sure you've heard that last sentence quoted quite often. I put it in context because I've read several articles lately stating that what Benjamin Franklin said doesn't really mean what it says. You see, during the French and Indian War, the Pennsylvania frontier was being attacked, and the people there needed protection. As Franklin states in his letter, the legislature had taken every step that was in their power, and they did not believe the frontiersmen wished them to go farther. Why would a people in the midst of a war request their government do no more to protect them? The answer is in the last sentence. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. You see, nothing is free. Government isn't free, safety isn't free, and certainly liberty is not free. We all want safety and liberty, but are we willing to pay the price? The cost of safety is not only the money it takes, but the freedom we must sacrifice for it. When you give someone the power to protect you, you give them the power to order your life. Look at the President of the United States. Everywhere he goes, he's followed by a security detail. His movements are coordinated and even determined by his detail. Even his most private and intimate moments are accompanied by security. Do you not think the president pays a price for his safety? It's the same for ordinary Americans as well. We live under a surveillance state. Our communication is monitored. Even innocent banking transactions are tracked, all in the name of keeping us safe. Air travel now involves intrusive and unreasonable searches of our persons and property, all in the name of keeping us safe. Our rights that are protected by the First, Second, Fourth, and Fifth Amendments are routinely violated, all in the name of keeping us safe. And guess what? They don't keep us all that safe. So if the purpose of government is to protect our rights, why does it seem to spend so much of its time violating them in the name of keeping us safe? Because Americans as a whole have become lazy and dependent. For 80 years, government has promised they will take care of us. Just give them a little of our liberty, and we believe them. They said they will protect us from criminals, provide for our old age, take care of you when you're sick, make sure you get an education, and that your house is built right, that your medicine will work, that your air is clean, that your car is safe, and that nothing at all bad will happen to you. All you have to do is limit your right to protect yourself, give up your right to provide the best education, medical care, and retirement you can find, turn over your right to privacy and property, and to not be harassed by government officials. And did it? We turned over most of our liberties for a promise of safety, and what do we get? We get law enforcement that will investigate the crime after you've been hurt or killed. Substandard education, healthcare, and retirement that only the well-to-do can afford to bypass. We get laws and regulations that make it harder to build that home or start that business, make your car more expensive, protect government actors that fail to keep our air and water clean, not to mention dictating what you can do with your property. In short, government provides substandard services at an exorbitant price while taking away our freedoms every day. And what do a majority of Americans seem to want? They want more of the same. Just keep them safe, wipe their runny noses, and tell them what to do. I think Benjamin Franklin was right. We have given up our essential liberties for the promise of safety, and those promises have failed. We don't deserve either liberty or safety unless we are willing to provide them for ourselves. Stop looking for government to provide something it was never designed to do. Governments are formed to protect our rights, not our safety. Perhaps if we defended our own rights a bit more vigorously, then our safety would not be in so much jeopardy. So, again, I hope you thought that was Well, at least it was, if not interesting, at least thoughtful. What do you see the role of government? What are you looking for government to do for you? Are you looking for it to keep you safe? Are you looking to provide for your retirement, for your food, for your shelter? Are you? You're not free. You're dependent on the state. And guess what? The more I read, the more I see that the majority of Americans have become dependent on the state. Now, the nice thing is our founding fathers gave us a mechanism to make sure government didn't get too big for its britches. It's about time we start using those tools. But to use them and to use them properly, we have to understand them. That's why the Constitution study is here. Come, read, study, begin to look at our government, our politicians from a constitutional standpoint. Learn what government is designed to do and what it's designed not to do. And look at what the different governments are designed to do. The federal government is different than your state government or your local government. They are designed differently, and they're designed that way for a reason. Until we understand the purpose of government, we'll continue to ask them to do what they are blatantly incompetent and incapable of doing. I hope you'll visit the Constitution Study website. I hope you will learn more about our history, more about how our government and our country is supposed to run. I hope you will come back, and I hope to see you again the next time at the Constitution Study.